Hey everybody, welcome to NoDQ&A video right here on youtube.com/NoDQ&AV and of course NoDQ.com. Thanks as always for watching. We're coming off Monday Night Raw, John Cena versus Brock Lesnar set for Extreme Rules, and it also looks like we're going to see a CM Punk versus Chris Jericho rematch, so things shaping up for Extreme Rules coming up at the end of April. Got a lot of questions here about Raw, so let's just dive right in. Seems like one step forward, two steps back with WWE. Apart from the hot opening and the Chris Jericho-Punk interaction, it was a very lackluster show compared to last week. Your thoughts? Well, first of all, I think that the crowd heat definitely hurt the show this week. I mean, we were coming off last week's Raw, super hot crowd in Miami, and there was just no way we were going to get that kind of crowd this week. I mean, we all knew that going in. But this crowd, the Washington, D.C. crowd, they were not very enthusiastic, and they were pretty bad by normal Raw standards, I thought. And yeah, that definitely hurt the show. There were some things on the show that were absolutely fantastic. Like you mentioned, the John Cena versus Brock Lesnar angle was awesome, and I'll get to more on that in a minute. Also, I loved the Chris Jericho CM Punk segment with Jericho pouring the beers on CM Punk, and they continue to advance that storyline. Just really good stuff by both guys. So I thought that was great. And then you have the Three Stooges. A lot of people did not like those Three Stooges segments. Now, here's my take on it. I grew up a huge Three Stooges fan. I used to watch them all the time as a kid. I love the original Three Stooges. When I heard that they were going to do a new Three Stooges movie with new actors playing the old guys, I just thought that that was the absolute worst idea ever. So not a big fan of the new movie coming out. But with that being said, I thought that when I saw the three guys on Raw, I thought they did a decent job playing the old characters. I'll give them that. But the thing is, it did not fit on this particular show. When you have a show built around Brock Lesnar and they're talking about the legitimacy coming back, and you're trying to have a serious angle on this show with not just Cena and Lesnar, but Punk and Jericho as well. Just, you know, I look on my DVR and it says Brock Lesnar, John Cena, and the Three Stooges. Just doesn't fit. But I have to say, for me personally, I was entertained by the Stooges coming out and Will Sasso coming out as Hulk Hogan. I thought that was entertaining personally, but like I said, I know a lot of people didn't like it, and I would agree that it did not fit on this show. But overall, I thought it was a very entertaining Raw, and looking forward to Extreme Rules. I think WWE's doing a great job with the build-up so far. And that brings up the next question here. With Brock Lesnar and John Cena brawling in the ring, everyone came out to break them up. I personally think that it made both men look really big and powerful, and it built up their characters really well, because they need so many men to hold one another. Your thoughts? Well, first of all, you have to keep in mind that this is not the first time there's been this type of situation where you have a pull-apart brawl where the two guys start fighting and then you have everyone trying to break them up and they keep trying to get at each other. It's been done a lot of times, but I have to say that on this particular occasion, it was done really well. They kind of played up the fact that actually, you know, they actually mentioned that Brock Lesnar was a former UFC champion, so that kind of surprised me a little bit because last week they made no mention of it. So they acknowledged Brock Lesnar as a UFC champion. He did the UFC-style takedown on Cena. He punched him right in the mouth, busting open John Cena the hard way, and that really added to the dramatic effect right there. And I like the fact that they had to split both guys up, and then when they showed the replay and Lesnar punched Cena, like the crowd oohed and awed like it was an MMA event. So if they keep doing the build-up like that, I think it's going to really help the pay-per-view buy rate for Extreme Rules. So yeah, I definitely give that segment a thumbs up, and we'll see where things go. But so far, so good. We'll see what happens. On Raw last night, when Hulk Hogan's music hit, the crowd did not react at all. Do you think if he ever came back, it would be a good or bad move? Do you think it's all over between Cena and The Rock now, or will they have another match? Thanks, Josh Hanlon. First of all, regarding Hulk Hogan's music, like I mentioned before, that crowd was not one of the better Raw crowds, first of all. And second, I think they were just dreading the whole Three Stooges thing so badly that they knew something was up. When Hogan's music hit, they obviously didn't think he was going to be there. So I think they were just dreading the whole thing and they wanted it to be over with. So I think that's all there is to it. I mean, if the real Hulk Hogan came back, I think in the right city he would get a huge reaction. Perhaps in a more random city he wouldn't. But yeah, I think Hogan would get a big reaction. But the thing is, he shouldn't really be coming back unless it's for some kind of Legends deal or something like that. He shouldn't be coming back as a regular performer. But that's a whole different topic for another time. Regarding John Cena and The Rock, I think that it's possible we could see them at WrestleMania 29. I know a lot of people are against that happening, but here's the thing. If you're going to do, in my opinion, if it was me, I would do, you have Brock Lesnar. He's going to do a series of matches, and at some point, we're all going to expect him to face Undertaker. So if it was me, I would do Brock Lesnar versus Undertaker at WrestleMania. That's what makes sense, and that would leave The Rock and John Cena if Austin ends up coming back and doing something with CM Punk. I mean, that would be your big three matches. Brock versus Undertaker, CM Punk versus Austin, and that would leave Rock and Cena to have one more match against each other. And perhaps in that match, Cena could get his win back. So, I mean, that would be what would make sense to me, but who knows what's going to happen. I mean, the plans could change a million times between now and WrestleMania 29. It's still almost a year to go. So no point in jumping to conclusions on what's going to happen. Hey, Aaron, how come after Legacy disbanded, Orton was still in the world title picture and Cody Rhodes was high on the mid-card, but Ted DiBiase faded into the background? That is a great question, and I really don't know what to tell you about that. I mean, I remember going to a WWE event at Staples Center in 2009 when that whole Denver debacle went down, and I saw Ted DiBiase, and I thought of all the guys on the roster, he had the most potential to be a big star. And like a lot of people, I thought he was going to be a big deal. And things changed. Cody Rhodes ended up leapfrogging ahead of Ted DiBiase, and Ted DiBiase kind of just faded away into obscurity. I think part of the problem was they tried to make him... I thought the $1 Million Man Jr. gimmick that they gave him was a really bad idea, because there's no way he's going to be able to... outdo his father with that gimmick. So I think that hurt a lot of his credibility. And then they did that pairing with him and Maurice, and it just they had no chemistry together, and it didn't do anything for him. So I think the combination of that is what really hurt him, and he really hasn't recovered since then, which is unfortunate because he had a lot of potential and he might still have a lot of potential. But yeah, it's not looking very good for him right now. Hey Aaron, what's your personal opinion of David Otunga? He seems to be on the rise in WWE and will possibly become the next United States champion. It also appears that WWE is right behind him at the moment. Please give your thoughts via video. With David Otunga, he's not a very good wrestler. I guess you could say he's been improving a little bit. I do like the lawyer gimmick that they've given him. I like the fact that they're playing up him having a Harvard degree, and he comes out dressed nicely, and he has the coffee cup, and I mean, it's something that makes him unique and different from everybody else. So, I mean, I'm fine with what they're doing with him right now, and I mean, in terms of his look, cosmetically, I mean, he has a great build and good-looking guy. So, I mean, they should do something with him, I think, and at least give him a chance. Now, it may not work out in the long run, but you know, I'm okay with what they're doing with him right now, and we'll see where it goes. I mean, as long as they can, as long as they're pushing somebody, and perhaps one day he will continue to improve as a wrestler, and maybe he'll go somewhere. Who knows? Hey Aaron, I was wondering, what are your thoughts on the WWE Divas? Do you think they'll ever get to heights in stardom as Cena, The Rock, or even a Hulk Hogan? And what do they have to do to get that big? Could you answer in video? Thanks. I would say no, because wrestling is a male-dominated sport, and it's not a sexist thing or anything like that. But you have to think of it like going back to the cavemen, going back to ancient times. It would be the men fighting each other for the to win the support of the women. So I mean, it's just human nature for the males to be more aggressive, and you know, it's testosterone fueled. So I mean, it's always going to be a male dominated sport, and people want to see the men get in there and be aggressive and fighting. It's just a male thing. So I mean, there's always going to be a place for the divas, but the thing is, it's just not that level of aggression that you get with the men. unless you have somebody like China, but that's very rare. All right, that'll wrap things up for No DQ&A video today. Like I said, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, youtube.com/NoDQCW. I do appreciate all the support from you guys. And stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest. We have coverage of TNA Lockdown this coming Sunday, so make sure you check that out, and we'll see you next time.